on no dope nigga like me.
Alright guys, Fulo coming to you with another video. Shout out to the whole LDBC. If you like this video, feel free to like the video. Feel free to have discussion in the video, like on the bottom, but allow the dialogue to be a healthy, balanced dialogue. And you know, if you furthermore want to become involved and like know what's going on with the channel, know what's going on with upcoming things that are gonna go on the channel, then please, by all means, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Okay, now I was like thinking about something, man, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I think about like Nip Hustle every day. Like, you know, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about Nip Hustle, you know what I mean? And the time I spent with him, the time I spent like picking his brain, you know what I mean, just seeing his insight into certain things. And you know, without like sounding like too pessimistic or sounding too much like of a guy who's cynical, but you know, since being in this country, yeah, and I've been here for quite a while now, you know, when I first got here, I definitely sounded like a fob, you know what I mean, like off top, I sounded like a fob. But you know, as time went on, you know, I got accustomed to the language, and so like the language, you know, the language became what I had to speak. But you know, I look at race relations in this country, man, and it's like, you know, nothing has really changed. You know, I really look at it as the simple fact that, like, you know, nothing will change. You know what I mean? Like, I really, in my heart of hearts, believe that nothing will change, because of the simple fact that, you know, like, when a system works for a certain people, you know, that system's going to stay in place, you know, unless a concentrated effort for it to be overturned is made, and that effort is calculated, that effort is like years in the making, that effort is a lot of toil, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of like maybe even seeing things that are not needed to be seen, you feel me? And so, you know, I'm just taking my experience, because like my experience is the African experience. Perhaps maybe someone else has a different experience from me, you know? But I'm just gonna like tell a couple of things and like let me know what you think, man. If you've been in the same predicament before. But if you don't know by now, I live in California, and I live in Southern California, you know. I guess you can say I live in the center of basically where all the, like, I want to say where South Central and West Los Angeles meet. But I had to travel outside of that section to go do some business. And I traveled to the South Bay cities. And what the South Bay cities basically consist of, they consist of a couple of cities. They consist of Hawthorne. They consist of Gardena. They consist of, I want to say, Lawndale. They consist of Torrance. Now, those are the cities. But the beach cities of the South Bay are basically three: Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, and Redondo Beach. I had to go to the beach cities to get some things done, right? And the one thing that just really stuck out like a sore thumb, okay, the type of guy I am, I'm just like a guy who just like try to be laid back, try to be cool, try to be chill, you know, and just be on his way, you know, just go about his business. Like, that's what type of person I am. Like, you know, I try not to like focus on what the next man is doing, because, you know, focusing on what the next man is doing is not going to really benefit me much. You feel me? So what happened was I was basically, you know, driving around making my swerves, whatever you want to say. And, you know, I noticed that, you know, even in driving, that because the South Bay cities, I want to say the South Bay beach cities, let's keep it politically correct. The South Bay beach cities are mostly populated by Caucasians, and you can say Asians, and you can also say well-to-do Hispanics as well populate this place. It's rare that you see black people over here. You know what I mean? But my point is this. I was like it took everything in my power just to just to keep my composure because of the stares you got. And it's like, I'm pretty sure these people have seen black people before, like in their life. Like, I'm just wondering if they've seen black people before. Like, I honestly had that question. And then the one thing that was like really like tripping me out was, you know, I spoke in my native dialect of, well, you know, we have a couple of dialects, but the one I spoke Fulani language, and I spoke Creole. And so like when I was speaking to people, like, and I was very discreet about it. I wasn't like loud and like emotional and drawn out and stuff like that. But I was speaking to someone, and all of a sudden the stares intensified, and it even got to a point where, like, you know, I had to stay on guard basically, because there was a dude who had like a dog, and I just noticed like that, you know, once I was walking to the place I was walking to, like, he turned around, like instead of going in his direction, like the original direction he was going in, he turned around and like followed me. And so I'm like, wait a minute. And so when I turned around, you know, that's when he like kind of like, that's when he went the other way, you know what I mean? Even with his dog, because, you know, I don't care. He can try to sick his dog on me all he wants. That dog will end up having a seizure, you know, when I'm done with it. You know, you can't show an animal that you're fearful of them. You know, you gotta basically show them what time it is. You know, one of the greats said that man is the most powerful force in nature. So you gotta really sometimes put your foot down and be that. You know what I mean? When it calls for it. So, you know, another thing I noticed too it's just like when I was driving, like when I would signal, like they were reluctant to even let me over. Like they were just like, once they saw that there was some black skin in this car, they just like played this crazy game of like, you know, we know you want to get over, but we're not going to let you over. And then, you know, when you walk and just carrying yourself, just doing your business, you get, you know, like you can tell in their faces that they're physically like uncomfortable with you being there. And it's like, bruh, all I'm doing is minding my own business. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. It's not that serious. So that's why I say, like, race relations will never change. And the thing is, like, a lot of people come on me, on my channel, but nothing has been shown otherwise, you know? Like, like, until I see otherwise, I'm just going to keep on having this, like, you know, this state of mind, because otherwise it's not being shown, you dig? So, you know, I mentioned Nip Hustle because this is the thing, man. Guys, like, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm not saying this. I'm saying this in the case of, like, you know, I guess, you know, he probably came from a half-not situation and decided that, you know, I want to be in a half situation. But a guy like A$AP Rocky, right, you know, he recently said that, you know, it was a while back, actually, that, you know, he's comfortable, like, living in Beverly Hills and, like, living La Vida Loca over there, right? You know? And I was talking, I talked to a couple of people, you know, we exchange ideas with one another. But I was talking to someone and they were like, you know, they said, like, you know, because they're in a situation where they're living in an area that I guess you can say it's a decent area, you know, Crenshaw District is decent, you know. But I guess they desire a better area. And so they were like, you know, when I get right and when I get my paper up and stuff like that, they were like, you know, I want to move to, like, you know, I want to move to like a place like, you know, like here where I was at, you know, Manhattan Beach, Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach. And he was a brother, you know. But, you know, I said to him, and I thought about this long and hard. I said, bro, why don't, like, when you get right, why not invest in your area, you know? Why not follow the NIP blueprint and try to make your area more desirable to want to live? Try to make your area more appealing to want to live, but also control the prices on it. Don't let someone else come into your section and control the prices, which is happening right now with the building of the train, building of the stadium. You know, it's crazy because I have a compadre from my country, and, you know, he was on Crenshaw. He had a store. He had like a tailor shop. You know, he did tailoring. So, you know, instead of like staying on Crenshaw, he moved to Rempal. He moved to Washington and Rempal. And I asked him, like, yo, like, why'd you move from Crenshaw to Rempal? And he said, you know, he just basically said, oh, the rent is too expensive there. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dang, man, that's crazy. Like, man, you getting pushed farther and farther away, man. You know? And so I said to this brother, like, you know, why not do that? You know, why not, like, I feel you want to be in that area. you know, because it's a nice area and stuff like that. But I'm like, bro, why don't you just try to like make an area like Crenshaw appealing? You know, like make it like an area where people are gonna be like, yeah, it's cool. I'm chilling, living here. You know what I mean? Like, why don't you try to do that instead of like wanting to move in those areas? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I know another guy. He's a Nigerian doctor, and he lives in I think he lives in, I believe I think it's Manhattan Beach. He lives in Manhattan Beach. So we were talking, having a convo, and he you know, we were sipping some tea or whatever the case may be, and we were inside his house, and he told me that, like, you know, here, even if I have like my PhDs, my doctorates and stuff like that, and that I'm a surgeon, he's still looked at as another black man, you know, and he still looked at it with a target on his head. You know, he said many of times that neighbors have, you know, not even been like friendly neighbors as they are with their other neighbors, but have like somewhat just shown him the cold shoulder, even though the fact of the matter is dude's a surgeon, you know what I mean? And dude makes a good living, you know, to be over there. But I mean, this is kind of parallel too to like how Africans like want to leave Africa to go to Europe so bad. And I'm guilty, and a lot of my family is guilty of doing that, you know, a lot, because we're looking for better opportunity. But my whole thing is like, why not come together collectively and try to increase the quality of life in Africa so we don't have to look elsewhere to go in order to increase the quality, you know what I mean? Because everything is in Africa that we basically need. All the resources are there. All the resources are there to build something, okay? It's just the manpower. And the manpower is there too. But I guess the skills are what's lacking. And of course the infrastructure is lacking. And the leadership with a backbone is lacking too. You know, these are all things in which are lacking. But I've often said that, I'm like, wow, like, oh, excuse me. I've often said that, like, you know, Raekwon said a line in a song that makes so much sense. You know what I mean? Raekwon basically said, wisen up, weasel, pull up your visus, can't make a living without money. You see how you see Jews? Like, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the Jewish blueprint will work best for Africans, you know, because, well, not like the Israeli occupation, you know, but just the way they go about, like, just the way they go about being a collective will work for us. You know what I mean? I think that will work for us so much, you know. So we need to like take a page out of that book, you know what I mean? And then another thing that made me think about it, you know, is Nip Hussle's line. You know, he said, I think it was in this song called Mark My Words, and it's the intro, it's the instrumental in the background to this video, by the way. What Nipsey Hussle said, he said, I think he said, grind strenuous, cash out continuous, mogul in the making, autonomous black businesses. And then he said something like, I believe he said basically, he said something over ignorance. But basically, the line that really stuck out to me was, I understand that not everybody can be a mogul. You know, not everybody can be that. And some people, not everybody desires to be a mogul. But everybody can have ownership. I believe everybody can have ownership. I believe us Africans can own our resources, you know what I mean, and utilize them to up the quality of our lives. I believe that Africans in the diaspora can basically get some material together to have ownership of businesses here in a certain section that is like semi-autonomous. You know, I think that would be a good look for us, is like a certain sense of autonomy. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it, but like, you know, like with that autonomy, I think it would be good. And then like if there were outsiders that came, we would look at outsiders like, who are you? You know what I mean? We would look at outsiders with a raised eyebrow. You feel me? Because they're doing the same thing. You feel me? Like going through, like, I hate to say it, but going through like Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, and Redondo Beach as a person, African, especially an immigrant African at that, you're looked at as you're behind enemy lines, basically. You know, you're really out on the field. Even if you could be dressed like suit and tie, and you're still going to be looked at like that, you know what I mean? And so what I say this because, you know, I think it's about high time for us to stop looking for acceptance and just basically break the door down for ourselves, and not necessarily break the door down at someone else's door, but break the door down in the untapped door in which we have not really stepped into, you know. And so that's why I think I believe it's time for that, you know what I mean? And so I mean, that's pretty much all I have about this certain issue. It just dawned on me as I drive home from this whole conundrum, you know what I mean? Like it just kind of dawned on me. I was just kind of pondering, you know what I mean? But leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Also, you know, some people, there was another Nigerian, you know, and he thinks I'm crazy. He thinks he basically thinks I'm Killmonger, you know, from Black Panther. That's how he thinks of me as. But anyhow, what happened was that, because he dates a white girl, right now he's with a white girl, and he thinks that him being with that white girl, like, is going to gain him acceptance and is going to make him fit in with the group and gain acceptance from him. But it's not going to, like, make him gain acceptance, you know? It's just not going to work like that. The same thing happened with a Nigerian girl. Like, you know, she's with a white dude. Same story. And I'm like, you're not going to get acceptance, you know what I mean? It's not going to work for you, you know what I mean? And so, you know, I say this to say that, you know, you can swirl all you want to, but the bottom line is, like, swirling is not going to, like, mean that you're going to basically not be subjected to what I was subjected to today. You know, they're not going to look like, people are not going to look at you like, oh, he's with this woman, so I have to like respect him. It's not going to work like that. Another thing that I wanted to say too is that it trickles down, man. It trickles down, because not only did, you know, Caucasians look at me in more funny style, but the Asians and the Latin Americans in that particular section were too. And it's like, you know, me, I was raised that you don't judge anybody, and you don't, like, you go off of their first impression, and their first impression meaning their action, like what action do they do. And so, like, when I look at these funny old stares, and when I look at them stopping their conversation when I walk past because they're looking at me, and they're like, there's a sense of like fear or worry or something like that. That first impression tells me, okay, this dude is obviously has some type of way about me, you know what I mean? And so, you know, that's just what it is. But anyhow, man, that's all I got for now, guys. You know, I didn't want to be too long drawn out in this video, but I was just thinking about those things, man. You know, I was just thinking about it. You know, I was just thinking about that. You know, a lot of us are like, kind of like at the point where we want to be accepted by them, and, you know, we want to like live in the neighborhood that they live in. But it's just like, you know, why not invest in our own neighborhood? Why not build some things in our neighborhood? Like, and I say that across the board. I say that about in Africa and stuff like that, and even here, you know what I mean? But anyhow, man, that's all I got for now, guys. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Let me know what you think about this subject, and let me know if you've experienced it in certain sections wherever you are or in the world. But that's all I got for now, guys. We're signing out. Sinjana.